You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012.
Yeah.
And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock.
Not for once have they invited the man for interview. Because they don't want to give the man any airtime. But you see, any little thing they will call Gumi and give him microphone. Gumi, they are inviting Gumi up and down. The media is complicit. The Nigerian military are complicit. You can't win war with this Nigerian army. Not because they don't have the capacity, but because they are compromised. Buhari created banditry. The people like Gumi and the rest of them, they are the people that facilitated the idea of Boko Haram. And today, some of them are your leaders in government. Some of them, most of them are moving free. Not one have been arrested. Kabiru Sokoto that bombed Nyanyan in 2011. When they rearrested him, guess where they caught him? In the house of Shetima in Abuja. What is he doing in the house of Shetima if Shetima doesn't know?
Wonder shall never end, ladies and gentlemen, as another bombastic revelation, or should I say exposition, concerning this Christian genocide issue that Trump talked about and the pain of innocent citizens in this country has dropped again. And of course, you know that since President Trump talked about this and designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, so many revelations and expositions has been dropping, which has exposed what has happened, what is still happening, how long it has started, and most importantly, it has also given clear hints to those who are allegedly complicit to what is going on. Now, most of those revelations have raised serious and clear accusing fingers to those who has held or are still holding leadership positions in this country. Some of them are also pointing accusing fingers to clergymen, which someone like Shegumi has come out several times trying to defend the indefensible. But that's not where I'm going. Now, upon this level of expositions, accusation, or should I say allegations, our leaders who were supposed to immediately swing into actions and began investigation are somehow quiet. Now, when you look at all this, you will be like, wait a minute, what the F is going on? And upon contemplating this thing, you will just come into one particular, or should I say, few conclusions, which is either these people are saying the truth or they are not far from the truth. But of course, I am going to allow you to share what you think with me on the comment section, as I also play other serious exposition concerning what is happening. But as you are watching it, make sure you are sharing your thought with me on the comment section. Share the video and also subscribe for more updates.
In 2017, for instance, there was an attack in Bakin Kogi, Kanyunkom, and Channels TV, I'll mention names, said 7 houses were burnt and 4 people were killed. I left Port Harcourt to Southern Kaduna. I counted 150 houses, and I saw a mass grave containing 21 persons. So the media is also complicit in what is happening in the Middle Belt. Thank God for News Central for what you're doing. Unfortunately, you are very young. You started in 2017 or thereabouts. But these atrocities have been going on for many years. Before I founded Middle Belt Times, let me tell you why. I was writing for various platforms. And sometimes when I write my stories, they will tell me that these guys are not terrorists. They are unknown gunmen or they are bandits. And one day I spoke to an editor. I said, look, sir, don't publish my story. And in 2019, of course, because if you must speak the truth as a journalist in this country, then you must be ready to face the consequences. 2019, I spent 162 days in prison for my uncompromised reportage. And when I was stepping into Kaduna prison, the first thing I wanted to see were the terrorists that have been terrorizing our people. I didn't find any. A few I found, including the ones who killed the Agwam Adara in 2018, they were looking better than me that was coming from outside in the prison. As of today, I don't know their whereabouts. They may have been released, because I remember meeting a certain Adamu in Kaduna prison who told me something. He said, look, by the Jima Abaza Mukoma Mali, he was arrested for illegal possession of firearm. That's a capital offense. The security agents are no longer here. I heard somebody talking about the judiciary. It's a compromised judiciary. It is. When I got to prison, I saw a lot of young men from Southern Kaduna who were standing trial for simply trying to defend their communities. I wept bitterly.
When I worked with the DSS in 2007, because when Yar'Adua approved the operational order that we did, we now have to work together as a team. He actually forced all of us to sit down together and work together. I was surprised at the tremendous amount of information had by DSS. I was shocked. We in DI, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and when they were forced to bring out the files, I was shocked. They have so much information at DSS presently as I'm talking about what I'm talking about. They have. But you see, if a fish is going to get spoiled, it's going to start getting spoiled from the head. The DSS will not do anything except the Commander-in-Chief's body language shows that this is the direction I want to go. That is where the problem is. The DSS has tremendous information. By the time 2023 is here and somebody take over and wants to undo some of this evil that I've seen in this country, you'll be surprised names that the DSS will bring out. They have the information. There's nothing I'm going to say here that they don't have. The defense headquarters have the solution for the kinetic aspect. They do. I'm not going to come here to advise them. I work with them, and they're still there. The Chief of Naval Staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in Defense Intelligence Agency. That's Vice Admiral Gambo. I know these people are good. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized.
You know, assuming but not conceding that, that all of this is the case. So what is the end game? Because I imagine as a strategist, that's what you think about too. So these things are happening. What is the end game? So why will this be allowed to fester? For what purpose?
The end game for them, because we did, normally when you want to look at this type of challenges, what you do is that you go through what we call the intelligence circle. Okay? When you do the processing and you do the analysis before dissemination point, you discover that the end game for them is to just turn this country into like a Taliban type of country. And it's a mindset. And anything goes. In other words, 10% casualties, 20% casualties is allowed in trying to achieve the end game of Islamizing this country.
That's for the terrorists, the bandits.
It's not for the terrorists and the bandits, for the sponsors. Because I told you, and I will repeat on this channel, the sponsors of Boko Haram and the bandits are the problems. And defense headquarters, the army headquarters, the naval headquarters, the air force cannot do anything about that. Buhari has to do something about that. The Interpol has the list of those people that are sponsoring Boko Haram. I work with Interpol. They should ask, if they don't know, they should ask. The government of Dubai, they have the list of those people. During the trial of those people that were caught, names were mentioned. They have the list. The government also told us that they've arrested 400 sponsors of Boko Haram. Why should a government not try those people and bring peace and harmony and safety to this nation? I think it's just the impression of every Nigerian at this point. This is an aberration. You don't attack Nigerian Defense Academy and kill officers and get away with it.
Yeah.
The last time I was in NDA was in 2017. I went to carry out an investigation by the Minister of Defense. They wanted me to check what is going on with the training and the security environment there. I remember I spent about a week at NDA with the commandant and with the staff, But something struck me. And that was every Friday, the gate of NDA is thrown open. And everybody have access to come and pray in the mosques. And I want to actually enjoin journalists to go to all military formations across the country on Friday by 1 o'clock. You are going to see the same thing happening across all military formations, including Naval Training Command Apapa, including the division in Ibadan, including NDA, including Jaji. I was in Jaji in 1994 for my junior division. And every Friday, our gate is thrown open. And everybody comes in to pray in our mosques. even though they have their mosque outside. If you go to defense headquarters, I serve at defense headquarters as the Deputy Director, Defense Administration between 2015 and 2017. Throughout my 2 years at defense headquarters, I received visitors only twice because of the strict security architectures at the defense headquarters. But every Friday, the gate of defense headquarters is thrown wide open for everybody to come in and do Jumat. That is the time the terrorists have the time to profile our security environment.
Has that always been the case?
It has always been the case. I've served the military intelligence for the past 35 years. It has always been the case. Our problem is religion and social-cultural. I mean, people will expect me to come here and start talking about kinetics, about operation and so on. I've been an operational commander all my life. I've commanded warships, I've commanded troops, I've commanded men outside Nigeria and so on. But I'm not going to come to your station to discuss kinetics. The problem is not kinetics. In 2017, 2016, I'm always a member of the Security and Intelligence Brief at the Defense Headquarters. I told them, General Lawrence Shakin then, that the challenge we have in this country cannot be solved the same way we solved the problem of Niger Delta. The Niger Delta problem was solved during Yar'Adua time, basically by me. And I told them that we can't use that same template for Boko Haram. I told General Lawrence Shakin to look at the center of gravity of the problem. And we all came together. I was made a member of the committee, including Atahiru that just died was a member of that committee in 2016, 2017. And we came to a conclusion after several arguments. The arguments were three. To identify the center of gravity of the problem, one group said it is the fighters, the Boko Haram fighters are the center of gravity, so we should go after them. Another group said the center of gravity of Boko Haram is Abubakar Shekau. So if we go after Abubakar Shekau, then the problem of Boko Haram will be solved. I took exception to the group. I said that is not the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram insurgency that we were having between that 2012 and 2017. And General Lawrence Shakin asked me, Olami, why are you giving problem? What is the problem? Give us the answer. And I told General Shankar, if I tell you the answer, you're not going to be able to solve the problem. He said, what is the problem? I said, the center of gravity of Boko Haram and insurgency in Nigeria are the sponsors of that program. It was beyond us. Because the job we need to do is kinetics. Fight, destroy places, resolve issues. Yep. But we cannot resolve issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who?
I was in the military intelligence. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that could have resolved that problem. Because you need to arrest people. And recently, 400 people were gathered as sponsors of Boko Haram. Why is it that Buhari government has refused to try them?
So the government knows sponsors of Boko Haram?
Of course, it's in the news. In April this year, the government said they have arrested 400 Bureau de Change related people that were sponsoring Boko Haram. They told us. And Abu Dhabi also helped us to arrest few Nigerians, tried them, we know them. Why can't this government, if not that they are partisan and they are actually part of the charade that is going on, why can't they bring those people out for trial?
So the Bureau de Change operators on the one hand, but you particularly said people in government. Are those part of the Bureau de Change, or those people that you say are in government are still there, government is aware, and government is condoning them?
The people I mentioned that are in government are not these ones they just arrested. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012.
Yeah.
And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday?
Of course, you know, the Nigerian situation, what the Islamists want to convert Nigeria to is exactly what happened in Turkey, you know, centuries back. Because Turkey was overwhelmingly a Christian country. It was then Anatolia, known as Anatolia, with its capital as in Constantinople, which is today Istanbul. And they keep hitting the Christians there, just like these Islamists, these jihadists, these Fulani terrorists keep hitting the Christian communities, destroying them, killing and taking over. That was the story of Turkey. That was the story of Turkey. And up to this moment, one of the most beautiful churches in the world, which was in Turkey, Hagia Sophia, you know, has been converted to mosque. But of course, the mosaic of Jesus and Mary are still on the wall there, and during prayers they do cover it, you know. So that is a country that has been providing refuge to some of these renowned terrorist enablers. Of course, they are providing refuge to Hamas, we know that. And now Sheikh Gumi has escaped to that after inciting Nigerians so much, after inciting the very vulnerable Muslims, and going around the media houses in Nigeria and twisting the narrative, you know, telling the narrative of an attack on Nigeria by the United States. United States did not say she's coming to attack Nigeria. United States said they are coming to attack the terrorists that have been killing Christians and, of course, moderate Muslims. Because what is happening in Nigeria, in the northwest of Nigeria particularly, is the killing of moderate Muslims, the Hausas, not Fulanis. So the Hausas have been persecuted, but most especially the Hausa Christians. There are a lot of them there. A lot of Nigerians do not know that there are Hausa Christians in Katsina, in Sokoto, in Kano. They've been persecuted for so long. And then the moderate Muslims, who are mostly the Hausas. So Sheikh Gumi has escaped. This is a guy who was radicalized and given the wrong indoctrination in Sudan. Just be afraid of any Nigerian who studied in Sudan. I'm telling you, just like Lamido Sanusi, as brilliant as he was, he's a radical too. That's the truth. He has the antecedents. He spearheaded the beheading of someone in the 90s, a certain Muslim, for blasphemy in Kano. So all those guys who go to study in Sudan, because Nigerian universities are better than Sudan. So I don't understand why all these guys are going to Sudan. And that is why it was in Sudan that Saudi Arabia arrested him for enabling terrorism, you know. And he was bailed by the government of Jonathan in a diplomatic mission. They had a diplomatic relationship with Saudi Arabia in that regard to enable him, to enable him become free. And for a very long time, he did not go to Saudi Arabia until this year. In March this year, he went to Saudi Arabia and he was deported. He thought that they'd forgotten. So he was deported at the airport in Jeddah. So that is in Saudi Arabia, the headquarters of Muslim. Saying, look, we don't like you, some of you guys with very deep records, who are very deeply involved in terrorism. You remember Osama bin Laden, his Saudi Arabian, nationality, of Saudi Arabian nationality and origin. But they exiled him because of his radical disposition. So those were the mentors of Sheikh Gumi. And the media in Nigeria, which to a very great extent has also been complicit, have been giving him room to talk. And the media deliberately stopped some of us from talking. I have a lot of friends in the media. They told us directly that, look, they censored them. They said they shouldn't give some of us the opportunity. So they like giving people who just somehow, just on the mild side, just say, okay, yeah, we are media as a Christian genocide, and they don't go deep. But for many of us, we know it very deeply. So the media cannot give us the space to articulate this position. But they've given so much to Sheikh Gumi. And the guy has started fleeing. It means that something is coming, because they do get their own intelligence report too. Just like the period that United States wanted to destroy the Boko Haram guys in Borno, and Nigerian army alerted them, and they were all put in gas mask. So Shegumi got his own intelligence maybe, and he wanted to escape, but not before he has radicalized a lot of people.
To the point now, share your thought with me on the comment section, and of course, you know the vibe. Click on that subscribe button, follow, and share for more updates. Because like this, we move.